Hey, it's Richie and Wes.
He's Richie.
And he's Wes.
And this is our show.
Trolling social media and asking our sex question of the week.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are with our friends in the UK, a country that remains in mourning after the death of the Queen of England.
Don't give a fuck.
Oh my god, they don't care. They do not care. They do not care. First of all, they're mad that they didn't get a day off of work.
Exactly.
Not even one day off of work. Let alone, maybe like a 3-4 day weekend. Their television is bombarded with all this shit about the Queen and her legacy and her. They can't watch any regular telly because it's all bullshit about the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to look on Twitter in this past week,
oh my god, Black Twitter and Irish Twitter was literally trending in the main post because they were going in for a good 48 hours.
Well, especially South Africa.
Yes, I haven't laughed that much. The whole thing was just hilarious.
Oh yeah, they were not having it, and people were trying to really explain how, history is written by the winners. History is written by the colonizers. That's who writes the history. Mm-hmm. So when you have these legacies like this, it isn't in the light of being a colonizer and someone who, during her reign, there was, apartheid. There was, granted, I realized she did step away, and that's when apartheid ended, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't responsible for it, of course, but certainly during her reign as well, there was genocide. There was lots of shit going on.
A lot of shit going on.
And never used her position to do anything aside to maintain her own family status.
That's it.
I do appreciate that they stripped away Prince Andrew's title recently in all of his, but
whole thing is just
that's
so
one
silly.
thing in a sea of other very, very murky depths.
Oh my god, the memes were just amazing though.
The memes were amazing.
The tweets
Her
were amazing.
holding on to Heaven's Gate, not being allowed in.
Someone made up a fake
Diana. All the Diana memes where Diana's not letting her into heaven.
Someone tweeted like as her, it's like, fuck, it's hot down here. Is there AC? Someone tweeted, what's crazy is that they don't even have to cremate her. Just wrap her up in some sheets, shake her up a few times, and boom, ashes.
Oh, God. Someone shared the meme of, what was it, like, I don't know. We'll just say Hitler and Ronald Reagan going, look who it is! Right?
It was someone's actual grandma's birthday that day. And then I guess someone was like, did you not just see that the Queen died? And she tweeted with a picture of her grandma. Said, if anyone's butthurt, I don't care. Today's always been my grandma's birthday. The Queen should have rescheduled.
Respect. Yeah, they tried it, and the media sure tried it. The propagandizing of Queen Elizabeth's reign has been ongoing, really, not only throughout her life, but certainly since her death as well. Talking about her special relationship to Africa and India. Ask someone in India about the special relationship between the United Kingdom, in which the United Kingdom enriched themselves off of the backs of the poorest people in the world. They're not having it. And then, you know what? That's what I love about these times. as much as social media is horrible and everyone is terrible, what I love about these times is people are like, you know what? Fuck that bitch.
Yep, no. Let's not forget. Let's not forget.
Oh, let's not forget this woman.
I put a steak through her heart and garlic around her neck to make sure she never come back.
Who is this? Who is this? Who is that?
A Scottish woman said she would put a stake through her heart and garlic around her neck to make sure she didn't come back.
Oh my God, I love it.
And the interviewer's like, oh, that's kind of a horrible thing to say when the funeral's going on right now. She's like, too bad.
Oh my goodness.
What a time we live in.
I love it. Love it. Oh Lord.
Everyone has a platform to say whatever the fuck they gonna say.
Exactly. You know who else I love? Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yes.
Won her first Emmy last night, which blows my mind.
Right? Because she has been around. Everyone knows how talented she is. She's amazing.
Yes. But yeah, she and the rest of the cast of Abbott Elementary won Emmys. Quinta Brunson, who we all know from her BuzzFeed time and her viral videos. Oh, he's got money. Mm-hmm. She is now an Emmy award-winning writer for Abbott Elementary, which is amazing. And the first Black woman to win a solo writing award. All kinds of history last night. Cheryl's
I love
speech
that
was
we're living
moving
in
and
a
put me to
time
tears.
of these firsts. I think that's amazing. We get to see all of this transpire and be a part of all of that, and that's really incredible. Yeah, Cheryl's speech was super inspiring, and she was also lifting up a designer who, despite what you may have thought about her dress or not, was his first designer dress. He normally does handbags.
Yes.
And she, I guess, likes the designer and wanted to make a dress that went
which
with
I
the
think
handbag.
is great.
Good for her.
Yes.
Good for her and good for him.
Bad for Jimmy Kimmel, who decided to try to steal focus from Quinta's speech by laying on the ground on the stage behind her.
You know what?
She was asked about it, and she said, I think other people were more upset about it than I was. She's all, but you know what? Maybe they'll sink in. I'm on a show on Wednesday. Maybe I'll punch him in the face.
What was he thinking?
I don't know. I'm like, let this woman have her moment.
Seriously.
What an amazing transition, though, to go from viral videos that you're making just on your phone that people thought was funny, then going on to BuzzFeed, and now having an Emmy award-winning show on a national network.
It can happen. That's the
That's
dream.
just so... It's great.
Hollywood, if you're listening.
Right.
We're available to shade anyone. We'll never be able to get any sponsors for the show.
No.
Because we'll just talk shit about them.
Exactly. Oh, please, if Wendy Williams could do it, so can we.
That's true. And we haven't gotten sued yet. So.
Not yet.
Speaking of people who would sue us because they have the money, Disney has their own convention, sort of like Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Where they, have a whole show about what products they're coming out with in the next year. But it also is a place for Disnerds to get together and cosplay. So shout out to all of the cosplayers who were out in Anaheim at D23 this past weekend.
Yes.
And get to go. We were doing other things. But they had big reveals from Secret Invasion to the show called The Thunderbolts. I've never heard of this team before.
Me either.
To The Little Mermaid.
Oh, yes.
Which, once again, set off waves of racism throughout the internet. You already know she has been cast in this movie.
Exactly.
We did this a year ago.
Thank you.
We should have unblocked those people by now. I shouldn't be hearing or seeing this discourse anymore.
Exactly.
We did this.
Just a mess. The trailer was captivating, and then someone leaked the full 2.5-minute version of Part of Your World.
Her singing.
And oh my God! Oh, it was just
Yeah, her singing.
And then they took it on Twitter for copyright infringement, obviously, but it
Yeah.
still lives on Reddit where nothing ever dies. So I have that bookmark saved.
Looks amazing, sounds amazing. The tail,
Gorgeous.
my God, I felt like I could touch it.
Yes, and it didn't look, and this is, the CGI's never finished in trailers. I was satisfied with how it looked.
I think a lot of that's probably practical effects.
It looks so good. Oh my God.
If you follow our friend, Adorkable J, who we have to have Zoom us,
Yes.
he does the merman thing.
True.
And his shit looks pretty good when you get under the water with it. So I bet some of it, at least, was
like
practical. Yeah, that looks amazing.
She just looks
gorge.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone's gonna bitch about something.
Someone said, "What about all the red-haired girls?" Like, bitch, she still has red hair. What is wrong with you?
Someone was like, "It's not red enough." Blah 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 blah. And then someone said, "I'm sorry," and they put a still from the live-action Cinderella. They're like, "I don't see you guys complaining that Cinderella's hair wasn't piss yellow."
Thank you. Mermaids are fictional creatures.
First of all,
a lot of these stories harken back to folklore from way back in the day. A lot of things that were published back even in fairly recent times, prior to the Civil Rights Movement, didn't include other characters because they did not. Period. So now we live in a time where everyone can flourish. Anyone can be a mermaid. Anyone can be a mermaid!
Exactly.
Come on!
Just shut the fuck up and enjoy the damn movie about a half woman, half fish.
And just like anyone can be an elf. But apparently, people who are watching The Ring of Power are disappointed and upset that there is one black elf.
Oh, that's not what was in the book.
The publisher probably would have changed it in the book because when J.R. Tolkien wrote this shit, there were no black characters in mainstream media. That's why all the comic book characters were white. That's why they made, even in Submariner, that's why they made the Atlanteans blue and Submariner white. Because they wanted to be able to, in a very subversive way, be able to address racism. Of course, of course, Namor is.
Let's not even go there for another episode.
Y'all, stop. Then don't watch it.
Exactly. It's just.
Then just don't fucking watch it. Then
exhausting.
If it bothers you that much, turn off the TV.
Someone, actually, retweeted someone's comment saying they've officially ruined the original Little Mermaid, and they said, "Oh, honey, no, that wasn't the original Little Mermaid. You're going to be disappointed because the original one had her having Prince Eric have her dance on her newly formed feet that she didn't know how to use, and describe it as her stepping on knives, and she couldn't scream because she sold her voice away. That's the original Little Mermaid. Don't let Disney fool you."
Oh yeah,
which is the truth. All the fairy tales were dark as fuck.
All the fairy tales were terrible. Yeah, they got nicer over time.
So no. Maybe your Little Mermaid they ruined for you. That was not the original Little Mermaid. Let's not get it twisted. I just don't. I want to see how Ursula's going to look, because if that mermaid tail looks that great, I want to see these tentacles.
Melissa McCarthy's going to eat that up.
Yes.
Although the meme with her braided hair,
that was hilarious.
She would never do that, you guys. Fun fact. I, a few times actually, because I have a friend who went to school with Melissa, have been to her house and gotten a chance to hang out with her.
Oh, awesome.
She is so funny in person, exactly like
I
you
love
would
it.
imagine her to be, that she can tell a story. It doesn't even matter what she's saying.
You just want to listen to it.
And she's just so engaging and just so welcoming and nice, and someone I'm very, very glad to see succeeding in Hollywood, because she absolutely deserves it.
Love it. Oh my God! You know what I recently saw? Not to cut you off.
No.
Speaking of a storyteller, you know my attention span. If something's over like 10 minutes, I'm probably not going to watch it. I sat down and watched the entire hour and some odd long Champ Kings, which is a YouTube show, interview with Patti Labelle.
Ooh.
She was sitting there with her champagne, and she was just telling stories
Patti
after
LaBelle.
story
She's
after.
gonna have some stories.
Oh, and she did.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. Oh, she talked about the feud between her and Diana Ross and why that happened. Diana, I guess that they were like, the Supremes were already the Supremes.
Yeah.
The Labelles were coming up. Well, they were touring together, I guess. And they would like make their own clothes or buy like cheap clothes like the swap meet because they didn't have the budget or the money to have things, custom made for them or anything. Diana Ross comes up. And it's like, oh my God, I love your dresses. And the next night, they show up in the same dresses after they told her where they bought them from.
Oh my God! So they could not appear on stage, obviously.
Ridiculous. And she stole one of the members of the Labelles.
Ah!
And Patty said, I was happy that she's making more money and getting more exposure because, we wanted as big as the Supremes were. But that was just some down and dirty behind the scenes stuff. She's like, but since then, we've moved on. Diana's my sister now. But
really,
yeah, they put it all aside. But she says she brought it up and said, you really hurt my feelings by doing that. She's like, you guys could have had anyone design your guys' clothes.
Yeah,
She's like, we were literally like stitching stuff in the back and like just trying to like make it through and buying cheap outfits because that's all we could afford. We were taking stuff from craft services like home because we can eat the next day, and you went and you did that, and that wasn't cool. And that's just one of the many stories that...
And, that speaks not only of Patty, but Diana as well, to be able to... Obviously, she must have apologized.
Yes, 100%.
There's no way you come through not owning up to that. And what a turnaround.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was even talking about... Remember a couple of years ago, when the Patty Pies guy went viral? She talked about that.
Pies sold out everywhere.
She talked about that, and they're still friends to this day. Ooh. He comes over every Thanksgiving. Oh. She's gotten him background singing gigs.
I love it.
Yes, I was all... Like, she's
it.
like, when you're someone that has a kind, gentle heart, I like to bring you in and take care of you. And I was like, yes. But, oh my God, it was just like going through a time capsule and all the things she was sharing. And she was like, it was interesting, a few times while she was talking, she was all, you know what? I forgot all about this story. Let me tell you this. It was like stuff she forgot all about.
I need a documentary.
Yeah, do you know that Luther Vandross was the president of her fan club? And that is how they met?
What?
Yes! Before he was a singer, he met her backstage.
The Velvet Voice.
And asked if he could be the president of her fan club.
What?
And she was like, honey, sure, I don't have one, but go ahead. And he became the president. And then later on, she found out that he could sing his ass off.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing is that?
Wow.
Yeah, so, yeah. Go to Champ Kings on YouTube, and it is just a captive... Before I knew it, I was like, oh my God, this has been like an hour and 15 minutes.
That is
It was
amazing.
just like...
You know what? That reminds me of an interview that I read with Angelica Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to try to find what the name of the magazine was. Because she gave it was a very long interview, and you know me and my eyes. I'm like, girl, I can't read all that. So I'm sorry that happened, or I'm glad. I really want to try to find this interview now, but it might have been Vulture or something. Yes, it is Vulture. Just search Angelica Houston. Angelica Houston in Conversation, Vulture magazine. Holy fucking shit this interview, she goes all the way in. And it's like, I mean, they're asking her about Jack Nicholson, who obviously
I forgot
was
about that.
the love of her life.
Yeah.
And, that he doesn't work much anymore. And she was like, what do you want to see him do? Meet the Fockers? I mean, she is like...
Yes! Oh, I love it.
Woo! She talks about how her husband, the director, very famous director, got sick and their insurance didn't cover his hospital stay, and she went broke. And that's why she's doing movies like John Wick 3 and
Holy
all this
shit.
stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's from 2019. It's from a few years ago, but it is a fascinating read. And it's one of those things where I was like, holy shit, I have been reading this article for the last fucking 45 minutes.
Yeah, same with that. It's like, it's the storytelling of it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like glued to the screen and just like jaw dropped at everything.
Ugh.
I was just like, this is amazing.
Well, that's old Hollywood, and I'm afraid the new generation is a little different.
A little bit.
We're going to have time capsules of Ray J and Kim Kardashian.
Jesus Christ.
Including his recent Twitter, Instagram rampage, whatever it was that he did, where he did a live.
I guess I was touch and go with this.
He did a live where he literally did a projector presentation. Projecting shit onto the wall. No,
like he's a fucking like college professor.
No, and then literally like turned his camera or whatever he was going live from to the guy running the projector. He's like, "You're not fast enough," and because he was like trying to.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
He's like, "You're doing a terrible job," and was literally blocked in real time by Kim Kardashian.
I did see that clip.
Because he was saying
he's exposing everything.
Shit. Yeah, he's exposing how.
But all the shit that we already knew.
I know.
We've known Chris set up that damn sex tape. We know that everyone signed off on it. Like, just we know. Like, why are we rehashing this? We know.
He feels victimized.
I need everyone in Hollywood to lay off the cocaine. Nicki Minaj is still going, I think, has a 72-hour rampage on everyone. I'm like, who's feeding your child right now? Like, she has gone off on Cardi. She's gone off on some other girl who's like 15 years younger than her. It's so much so that I think number 3 trending, and not just the trending for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have her name blocked on Twitter. So This is how I knew that she was trending, because It's Giving Coke was trending. Because, and then underneath was her name.
Oh.
And everyone's like, yeah, they're like, this 40-year-old woman has been going off on everyone for the last, like, 2 days straight on Twitter. They're like, it's Giving Coke. She went off on Garcelle Buffet.
What?
Called her a hoe and a bitch and said, because recently, some Housewives fans went in on Garcelle's 14-year-old son on social media.
The one that got yelled at?
Yes. And it was like a racist...
How do I even know that? I didn't even watch the fucking show.
And it was like a whole bunch of racial things to the point where Garcelle and actually the rest of the ladies were like, our kids are off limits. Like, you can attack us.
Ew.
You don't get to go after my 14-year-old son. Like,
no.
Leave him alone. And he, poor guy, was even like, I'm just a 14-year-old, like, high school student. Can you guys leave me alone? Like...
Oh. My God.
Damn, like, I'm just trying to, like, be a kid.
People are so fucked up.
So, yeah, but Nikki went on and on her little radio show and said, well, that bitch didn't care about my family when she was talking about my husband on her now canceled talk show and blah, 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 blah. Garcelle did an interview with your husband's victim. She was doing her job. And this is what you're saying? Why her 14-year-old deserves to be racially attacked on social media, you fucking nutcase?
She's always been like this, though.
She's fucking
It's not
crazy.
as though this is new territory for her.
Yes, but I mean,
And
but
her-
typically it's
her
like it's a
fans are
last year,
also part
but
of the
she's probably
problem.
still tweeting right
She probably
now.
is. But her fans are part of the problem as well.
Oh, 100.
They all need to be neutered because
Yes.
we don't need any more of them.
This is just ridiculous. I was like, girl, what is going on? So yeah, that's the reason I knew this was going, because it's giving Coke was trending on Twitter. Then I guess Nikki tweeted, I'm not doing fucking Coke. You can check my hair if you want to. If you want to accuse me of that. And then Azalea Banks, of all people, chimed in and said, "Let's also test for Percocet."
Wow.
Clearly, the woman's unhinged. She's been a nightmare for a while, but
Yeah,
this has
forever.
just been like, girl, like what?
Whew.
If I had that much money and that large of a status, I would not be rapid tweeting random ass other rappers and going off on tangents about Garcelle Bouvet of all people.
Do you know what? The people who have the most fucking money, think about like Snoop Dogg, Queen Latifah. Granted, I know they've been around for longer than Nicki's been around, what have you. But you don't hear about them getting Twitter fights.
They're doing their
You don't hear
fucking
about them?
projects and minding their business.
Okay.
And making their money.
And making a shit
and being happy.
ton of money. Alright everybody, thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our sponsors and our show notes and save some money by using our coupon codes. Until next time, goodbye. Bye.